Hello, welcome. I'm kind of starting a little bit early because this room is already at 29.8 degrees C, and quite honestly, I want to get to the point where I can have like everything open and the fans on and just like soak myself through with cold water because it is ridiculously warm. Okay, so I don't remember what we were doing on this. All I remember is that the highlights went up not that long ago. So we're just gonna jump in and see what there is. Honestly, yeah, I don't see much point in trying to figure out like a specific thing that we're trying to do. So I did find the game that I was on about on Monday. On Monday, the game I was on about. Oh. Now, I don't know how this game's going to perform in this heat. I'm not quite sure. Need to turn the game down a bit. So he seems to be locked at about 60, which is good because I've got VSync on. But yeah, so I turned a few of the settings down on the game as well. So it's not going to look quite as nice as it did the last stream, but it should be easier for the game to be run in this heat. If we encounter too many stutters and things, I'll either drop the resolution down again, or alternatively what I might do is just switch game. Because, you know, why not? Just want to do like a little bit of a rundown here and get some speed up so that it has to load different chunks at different times and things like that. Just get as many effects going as we can. Just to see if it does start to slow down at points. Because obviously, you know, 30-degree room now. Gotta make sure that we're running okay. And so far, everything seems good on it. Yeah, so the game I was on about on Monday, the other game development tycoon type game, is Game Dev Studio. It doesn't have Tycoon in the name. So we were on Game Dev Tycoon. We were looking for Game Dev Studio. Well, you know, that's going to be what we do on Friday. Okay, so there are some slowdowns in that sort of thing. Oh, this game, I seem to remember from the last stream, every time we had an area where the like overlays came up, that's where the game slowed down. Everything else was fine. It was just the point where you have an overlay. You know, of like the police chase starts or the race has just finished. That'd always throw it off for some reason. What I assume with the police chase one is that when that comes up, that's when it loads in police assets. That's what I'm guessing. I'm not sure, but to be honest, if I was developing a game, that's probably when I'd have the police assets load, so you don't have to have them loaded in the memory at all times. There you go. There's another example of it. It does just seem to be when it loads, like, video assets, sort of like overlays and things like that. See, it says driving oncoming lane for 15 seconds. It doesn't say I have to do it fast. So I'm just going to cruise down here nice and slow. There we go. Also, there you go. There's that bush that's never high texture, even on high terrain, high vegetation details. Oh, I've not got the drift stuff on the car. I've not got my drift tires on. I've not got any of that.
Track isn't far. Let's go.
Ooh. At least it's raining, I guess. Oh, you're gonna make me follow you, aren't you? You didn't listen to a word I said in the last stream. Oh. The worst part is he's not even talking to me on this journey.
How long you been in the city?
Oh, God.
Used to be up in Aspen.
Look,
Up there too? Couldn't say that.
it's not like it's related to how fast I go.
Till my knee decided otherwise. Too bad. Hey, this might not be carving turns on the ice, but it's pretty damn close.
Come on.
Even closer since you started pushing me. Sounds like we got a competition.
Come on.
our hands.
Let's get there.
We do.
Don't like following fucking NPCs around the map. Come on. Just give me a waypoint and tell me to meet you there.
Throw it right.
We're clearly on the phone to each other. Like, what?
Place.
Why can't I just drive there? Why can't I just drive there? Why do I have to wait for his stupid ass to, like, speed up and get there first? This isn't a game about cruising round slowly.
You know, this track knocks a lot of good drivers on their ass. I'm real curious to see if you're one of them.
Well, I don't have my drift stuff on the car, so probably. Come on. 2, 1.
Pressure's on. Don't crack.
Okay, so square is handbrake.
Gotta do more to impress me now.
Okay, so my target is 90,000.
It's early. Looking good.
Come on. Right. If I'd have known this was a drift event, if I'd have actually paid attention, what I'd have done is change the tyres.
Doesn't surprise me. This track's tough.
Right, we're going to have to do this again, I think. I'm guessing we're not going to make it. I do, however, think it's worth finishing this out and sort of seeing where the track goes, getting an idea for it.
Drivers don't quit.
That's 33%.
Not messing around, huh?
Okay, we're at 14,000. If, like I say, if I'd have known it was a drift event that I was going to, I'd have switched the setting of the car to the drift stuff, because we're currently on like race tires with race suspension and all that stuff.
Not gonna see any better than that.
So I mean, to be at 30,000 is, to me, impressive. Didn't mean to clip that.
Real smooth.
What I like is there doesn't seem to be an out of bounds thing on it. See, if I'd have done that lap the first time round as well, I'd have been okay.
That's a straight up 10 in my book. Building what you started.
52,000. I mean, we're close. This is going to be close, but I know I can do better.
Got there for you today.
And that's the upsetting part. You know you can do better. Oh, we're not making this. Like I say, we'll switch the settings of the car. But we'll do.
I know that's not the best you can do.
Unless we can get 30,000 in this one corner. Oh well, 69,000. I'll have that. You alright, Kai? How you doing?
Put you on your ass. Question is, are you gonna stay down or pick yourself up?
Am I going to stay down or pick myself up? Well, when he stops taking stupid selfies next to his bloody car, I'm going to change the wheels. Oh, bugger. It is. It's 30. It's gone from 29.8 degrees at the start, 15 minutes ago, to now being 31.5 degrees. I've changed all the settings on this game, so the beautiful game it was last time I streamed it, is no more. I've reduced all of the graphics. Like as low as I want to at 4K. Okay, it's one of those where it is just gonna be a nice 31. Yep, it was 31 just like 10 minutes before I started the stream. But I got like all of the fans in the house and just stuck them next to the window and just had them blowing out of the window to draw air from the cold side of the house. Can I just point out something? If we all look in the left-hand side, look at where the setting is. It's at road and race. It's nowhere near drift. So I think to get 69,000 on that, you know, is quite impressive. Tires. Yeah. Want some Pro Drift tires, please? That sticks me in the middle. I only want things that I own. They're drift. Yeah, I've stuck the fan that was on the floor, sort of cycling the air in the room. I've now stuck that up on the desk, and it's blowing at the front of both of the streaming and the game computer. It's the only thing I can think to do to sort of keep it all down a little bit. There we go. And now we're in drift mode. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Like I say, I changed from my Intel systems when I upgraded the systems, the game system at the beginning of the year and the stream system a few months ago. I changed them both to AMD. Because they were both Intel i7s. Obviously, one was my older one was my newer one. But yeah. I changed the game system to a 2700X. Because, obviously, at that time, the 3000 series was still ridiculously high. For the same core count. So I just went with 2700. Got that. And then when it came to upgrading the stream system, I needed something I could edit video with, export 4K footage, transcode, which is CPU. Oh, for God's sake. This is what I'm dealing with. Because everything is toasty. Right, let's fire it up again. Worst case, I'm just going to put NASCAR Heat 5 on. And just play that. But yeah, so I changed the streaming system to the 13900. So, you know, 12 core, 24 thread. Nice and easy. Problem is cooling the damn thing. It gets toasty in like no time at all. I don't know what it is with Origin today, but it does not like me. You know those days when you just have like a single piece of software that really does not want to play ball? That's what I've got Origin doing today. You alright, SP? It did indeed, Kai. In all fairness, I did just check the temperature as well while I'm on the desktop. No, SP, we're just fighting a 30-ish degree room at the minute. Oh, I think we might be back. Sort of. It's going to take a while. Oh, you little bastard. Chucking it down. Send it this way. Send it to Manchester right now. I need that. Yeah, I'm good. Just Kyle and me are both like just dying from the heat. What I suggest to you with it like chucking it down is get all of the windows in the house open. All of them. And just let all of that cold air in. And then tonight when it stops raining for you and starts raining for me, you know, at least your house is cold to start with. Oh, 76. Yeah, just generally send it up north. Like, I'm happy with that. But yeah, you can probably see, like, sweating like a motherfucker right now. Don't worry about the gutters overflowing. That's fine. Put it this way, I usually have this window opens like a door into the room, so it's really good. It goes from right up about, see this dark line here above my head? It goes from there all the way down to the bottom where it goes pure white because the exposure's blown out. But all of that opens into the room and it's like, oh. Nice. Okay, I've never really done the farming thing on Minecraft. You know, like the resource farming? I've obviously done the farming thing. Let's see how long this lasts. I mean, he seems a little bit frozen at the minute. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Hey, how was Wayne? He introduced you to the mystical art of drifting?
Okay, let's go. Let's try and get at least our race done before we quit this and go on someone else. Can't believe it just died completely. Actually, I can believe it just died completely. Now at 31.5 degrees. Yeah, so the entire window opens, which is brilliant. But when it's raining, the rain just blows straight in through it. And I'm now at the point where most days I'll just leave it open. I'll just stick a towel on the radiator underneath it and sort of spread the towel out onto the floor and just accept the fact that everything's going to get wet. Just so long as it cools everything down, I am happy.
What's up? Headed over to this track and thought I'd see if you're around. Don't think you'll beat this one so easily.
Right, what I tend to do with fans, here you go, here is a tip. 3 tips from Paul. You know what, mate? I didn't even notice any, like, mistakes in that sentence. I just knew what you meant. What I tend to do is, I mean, it works better with this window because it opens like a door, like I say. But if you open the window and put one of the fans, like a desk fan, on the floor underneath it, blowing into the room, and then have like a pedestal fan or like another desk fan, sort of like chest level, in the door of the room, blowing out of it. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right, okay. My issue is controller. It keeps on disconnecting, and whenever it disconnects, it seems to boot Need for Speed. I don't know why. But yeah. So I have a desk fan on the floor, circulating that cold air that's coming through the window and dropping, because that's what cold air does. And then at about chest height, have another fan aiming up out of the door and cycling. And it just, it cycles the air, it rotates it nicely. And you end up in this situation where all of the warm air is getting pushed out and cold air is getting sucked in. It's great. Yeah, this is a problem with PlayStation controllers. And to be honest, anything that uses that kind of USB connector, I've always found that kind of connector is loose. No matter what the application. Be it phones, controllers, whatever. After about 3 months... Yes, yeah, micro USB, thank you. But yeah, after like 3 months, they always become loose. And the problem with using a PlayStation controller on the PC is that you either have it Bluetoothed up or wired. And if you have it wired, then no problems, SP. If you have it wired, then oh, don't worry about it, man. This is just standard par for the course, apart from the game crashes, actually. But yeah, there you go. It's what we're here for, right? Games that sometimes work and sometimes don't. Right, we're dropping the resolution scaling down to 60. Textures are going to medium, medium. No ambient occlusion. Medium effects, medium geometry. In a cool room, this game runs completely fine. It turns out in a warm room, this computer doesn't like life. But yeah, with the PlayStation controllers and the software I'm using for it, no, amazingly, GPU's alright. That's one of the temperatures I just checked. Good shout, though. And like I say, I've stuck the desk fan right at the front of the case, blowing straight in. Since it's not on the floor, cooling the room. But yeah, with the software I'm using, when I plug it in with USB, it actually disconnects the Bluetooth from it. So it's only connected via the USB. So if that USB is loose, like a micro USB is, then the connection gets knocked a little bit. and it disconnects straight away. But yeah. Nice. That's cool. I've actually set G-Sync on this now, just so. Just because I'm sick of seeing, like, tearing. You right, Kings? We are currently hoping that we can actually get an event done on Need for Speed in this ridiculous heat. But the thing is, like I say, in a cool room and on the last stream that we streamed Need for Speed, it ran flawlessly with pretty much all of the settings cranked up. At the minute, I'm running this PC that's the game's on offline, which actually might be some of the issues. But yeah. Whenever I stream, I move the Ethernet cable over to the streaming system. Just because, you know, I could do with like a constant bitrate on the stream and a decent internet connection. And Batman, I have played, I think the last stream I played it was about 3 hours, so I'm about 4 or 5 hours in. But that was the last time I played it, and that was about a month ago. But I think this is the second drift event that I'm doing now. Or trying to do now. Just before you joined, I did do the event in the setup that this car tends to live in, which is sort of race and street. So I jumped into a garage and switched out the stuff for the drift stuff. Mainly because I didn't actually know that it was a drift event I was going to. I do like the Burnout influence in this. Like, you can tell what the developers used to make. Okay, that's weird. Why is that area off limits? And if it could stop spawning me there, look at that. I'm not going to press anything. It's spawning me in a place that is impossible to get out of. Let's see if I can... No, okay. Right. Can you fast travel to a different place? Because the problem is, whenever I fast travel to a garage, it always puts me at the same one. Oh, nice. Well, if you have a Chevy Corvette, you have to make it Bumblebee, right? I'm just going north, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it does feel typical EA. But I said in the last stream, because the last stream I did on this was sort of like a live review type thing. So I played like an hour before I went live, just to set everything up, get all the settings dialed in, and sort all that out, and get the tutorial-y nonsense done. So I did that, and then we did this sort of live review, and in it we noted that this is the first Need for Speed game since probably Carbon, that era. Or to be honest, Most Wanted, which is actually a Need for Speed game. It's the first one that feels like a Need for Speed game. It's just there are a lot of issues with it that they need to change, and then it will be the best Need for Speed game. See, it's just the rule. If you have a Chevy, it has to be Bumblebee. They're just the rules. There is no choice in this. I hate these sections. Because it doesn't matter how fast I go, he still just dawdles his ass there. I want a marker on the map saying this is where you're going. And then I want to meet them there. Yes, Camaro. Yeah, the Corvette's the long, like, cigar-looking one. Isn't it? The sports car. I should have picked up on that. I'm driving a Mustang. But yeah. Did you see that, like, shack just fall? Yeah, skip. I don't care. Let's see if I remember how to do this. Right, so the last time in the race setup, we got 69,000. That wasn't nice angling, that was miscontrolled. See, that annoys me. This game just sort of compliments you for things that aren't good. "2012 Need for Speed." Was that the one that they just released as Need for Speed? And wasn't it like online and had like a load of controversy around it because it was online only or something? "2012. 2012. 2012 was a long time ago. Did it have a subtitle? Or was it just called Need for Speed? Oh! Okay. I always forget that they did. Which Most Wanted was it? Was 2012 the first Most Wanted? The proper Most Wanted? Or was that like the HD era Most Wanted? Yeah, see, I could never really get that it didn't feel like a Need for Speed game, the second Most Wanted. But I do imagine the online on it was good. Just because I don't like the thing of driving up to a car to switch into it. This is the first game, like I say. The one before this, which I have downstairs, and I always forget the name of and call it The Run, which it isn't. Because The Run's the one that was scored by Brian Tyler. But the one before this was another one of the ones that felt like Need for Speed, but not quite. This one feels a little bit more like Need for Speed. Not sure about that. And what's that, Kai? Yeah, but the problem with these thunderstorms is they actually just mean an electrical storm, which doesn't do anything for us. We've had, like, electrical storms the last 2 nights over Manchester, and, I mean, they're really eerie, because you just have this, you just have these, like, this lightning, and it's silent. I mean, it's brilliant. I love it. I went for a walk in it. But the problem is, it's still stuffy because it doesn't rain. I think we had like 3 cracks of thunder over the last 2 days. But, you know. Okay, there you go. I knew... We do need it to piss it down, definitely. If it did that, I'd be happy. Oh no, all night. It needs to be an all-nighter. Her missions are at night, aren't they? She's the come see me at night because nighttime. What annoys me is it doesn't... Maybe... Batman, maybe you'll know this. Is there a way to find out what kind of car setup we need for these? Because all this shows me is my current setup being near drift. I'd like to know what kind of setup she wants for these missions. Didn't think so. I'll do what I usually do and just go back to my normal setup. And yeah. Yeah, those cars were good to have. The thing is, I tend to just stick with a couple of cars anyway, but it is nice to have the option to change to like a bunch of different cars. Oh, go on, do tell. Like, this game, to make it, in my opinion, to make it into the Need for Speed game that everybody wants, I'd say all they need to do is add from Need for Speed Carbon, those custom modified parts. Oh, right. Okay. Well, she tends to be street racing, so I'm gonna stick with this plan. She tends to be... It's nighttime as well, which is all road racing normally. I'm gonna go with that. Did I change something else? I think I changed something else. I'm gonna go with track suspension. Okay, I think that's all I changed. I'm gonna assume that's all I changed. See, what that is there, with there only being 3 different things, is kind of one of the issues with the game, isn't it?
How's it going?
Like, I'm sure there should be...
I figure we maxed out on our daylight options. If you want to know more, come meet me.
Ah, fair enough. I thought you meant like 3 people that you see and you have to remember which of the 3 you see. But yeah. Well, we'll just go and see what this does for us. But yeah, if we had that auto mod thing from Need for Speed Carbon, maybe a little bit more selection in cars. But to be honest, this game's got quite good selection. If I'm honest, there is something for everyone in there. And I guess that's all you can really ask for. But put the auto mod thing in, which I know would take a lot more work for them to put in now, as opposed to when they did it in Carbon. just because of, you know, HD graphics. Payback, yes, thank you. Payback is the name of the Need for Speed game that I always forget. Yeah, I mean, think about it. With if they put the auto mod thing in, brought back drag, because drag was in Underground 2 as well, moved the drift button away from double tapping the accelerator so that you could actually ease off in a corner when you're out in a race. You know, I think this would be the Need for Speed game. Like, the Need for Speed game. Yeah. Well, if they can get the license back from Alpha, then both of those cars would be back anyway. I imagine that is purely, like, licensing issues. I imagine this guy's going to stay on my bumper all the way, isn't he? Another thing that they need to change is how different surfaces affect the AI. Because I've noticed if the AI go on grass, they don't get slowed down, whereas if the player goes on grass, then it slows them down a lot. And when the player drifts, it tends to slow the player car down more than it'd slow down the AI. Which, if you're going to force me to drift around corners because I can't lift off and then put my accelerator back to, like, ease off around a corner, then at least have it not affect my speed as much. Because the AI can go around a 90-degree bend completely flat, no drift, no lift off, speed unaffected. Whereas the player lifts off a little bit on the accelerator to ease off for a corner, puts it down, and this is what happens. The back gets kicked out because that's how you initiate the drift. Yeah, I've noticed I've spun a couple out near some checkpoints, and they do just tend to carry on. But my thing is, if you're going to force me to drift around a corner, don't have it affect how my car performs. Simple. It's a simple request. And I think a fair request. Are you ready for it to lag a little bit when it loads these overlays? Hey, it didn't do it that bad. Ah, welcome, mate. Cheers. Hey, we've not got the follow bar up. And I've not moved everything back. There we go. That's how it's supposed to look.
Yes, that's just the start we wanted. Okay, we know where the next one is. We're waiting.
Okay, we have to go and find that woman again, don't we? Yeah, I feel like if they made a few tweaks to this game, like the map size is brilliant. The map is the best size for a Need for Speed game that I've seen in years. Almost all of it is utilized. It doesn't feel like it takes an hour to get from the city to, like, the middle of nowhere. Whereas Payback, you start off in the city, go out to your airfield thing, and it seemed to take forever just driving on the same bit of road. that never changed. And that's always the sign that a map is too big. And big for just being big. Whereas this map feels refined. So I've just left the city. I'm on these bits of road that remind me of Need for Speed Rivals. But the point is I can get speed up. It changes. We're now in farmland. We're now in hills. We're now coming back down into a town. Like, it changes relatively fast by comparison. I'm currently playing offline because this computer has an Ethernet connection, which obviously the cable's been taken out and put in the streaming system. But like, it's the first Need for Speed game that's actually felt refined enough to be called a Need for Speed game. And that makes me happy, but I also feel like it needs a little bit more refinement.
If you need any pointers, don't be afraid to ask.
I was trying to put her into the
Pull over.
I was trying to put her into that lorry. See, the thing about this handling is it does feel unique to the game, but it also is very reminiscent of GTA 4, where everything's a little bit heavier than you expect it to be and a little bit more boat-like.
Hey, might want to check that smoke coming out of your tailpipe. Made you look, didn't I?
And why are the characters so annoying? Why do they all have to be like, oh, made you look? No, you're just irritating. Be quiet. Let me drive.
I take the lead for a while.
Look, every single checkpoint I go through, there has to be a remark. Why? Why? It makes everyone in the game feel like bad losers. Oh yeah, the police are a thing, aren't they?
Hey, it's the losers in blue.
Oh look, we're escaping. But that's what I was saying earlier. Whenever the overlay about the police turns up, that's when we have these little slowdowns.
I'm just gonna pretend this isn't happening.
And I think the assets for the police are only loaded when you're in a pursuit. That's what it feels like.
Can't you just crash already?
No more chance. You're done.
I was wondering where these douchebags were.
I've only got 500 yards remaining because they not block the way. Nice, all good, mate. No apology needed.
Okay, you won. But last time I checked, it wasn't just me you had to beat.
Right. And now we get one of the most boring police chases in the history of video games. I've just realised I'm on a massive circle. Let's stay on this. Let's see how long they last. I've already lost one police car by doing it. Oh, reinforcements are coming in. Are they? Okay. There you go. I escaped. And I'm about to go in water. Like, and that was a police chase. Can you imagine that in GTA?
Yeah, how many to go?
Come on. Come on.
About you right along.
There we go.
You sure?
Can't have you missing out on the victory.
You're on. Meet you there whenever you're ready.
Right. But that's the thing, they'll bump you a few times. The little bar for being arrested, that little arrest bar is the stupidest thing in the world. Like, it really is. Because the speed with which it goes up is disproportional to, like, the speed that you are going. I've been travelling 40 miles an hour and being arrested because there was a police car next to me. I want to see how they get me out of the car. I want to see how they stop my car at 40 miles an hour and say I'm arrested. Like, it's... That bar has never made sense to me and has never been corrected to be sort of... I feel like fair makes it sound like I'm sore about it, but it's more like... It's... In video games, if you die unfairly, so say a bit of the geometry hasn't loaded and you fall through it and that's why you die and you fail a mission, that's an unfair death and that makes the player feel like crap. So the same thing in this is having that bar go up too fast and disproportionately to the rest of the game, and that's an unfair death. And exactly, it costs you money for something that isn't actually like an issue. It's stupid. It's properly stupid. And the thing is, it's not a difficult fix for EA or Ghost or whoever to implement. All they have to do is set the bar to not activate until the player car has been stationary for 5 seconds or below 5 miles an hour for 5 seconds with at least one police car within 2 meters of them. All they have to do, and then slow the speed down of it by about 5%. That's all they have to do, and it wouldn't feel as unfair.
Going after a hot shot in a 65 Mustang? I'll take him off the streets.
All you did was keep our eyes on a suspect behind the wheel of a 65 Mustang.
Like I say, it isn't the most difficult fix in the world, and you could even patch it in and have it as game leveling. On the flip side of that coin, like I said in the last stream, I do like the fact that the police don't just go for the player. Normally in games, they only aim for the player, whereas this, they do go after second place, third place, all of them. Oh, I'm going off-road, am I? No? Okay. Well, you didn't really make that one clear as to where I was going, did you, game? Oh, she's in the passenger seat. I didn't even realise. I just thought she was being annoying over the radio like she normally is. Okay. Turns out that's the thing.
You ain't beating me again.
I think that person who I'm racing might have just crashed. Oh, there you go. We win.
Outnumbered and we still win. All that matters is that place
Yeah.
in the lead. And we're
Yeah, I will. I'll give you that one. Definitely.
You hungry? I'm hungry.
The cops did get fairer. Best police. Original most wanted. Definitely. That's where they sort of hit the peak. And it was the first time they'd brought them into it. So, go figure. But in all fairness, after Need for Speed Most Wanted, when they released Carbon, they kind of ruined everything about it. The drift handling got destroyed. You know, stuff like that. I assume that was her car then, probably. Sure. Yeah, that is a good shout. That is a very good shout, actually. The thing is, though, and I'm sure the stream will be able to verify this, I'm fairly confident that when I came up to the finish line on that race, I didn't have hardly any damage on the vehicle. And then when I crossed the finish line, it destroyed the car. For no reason. And I don't know what... Like, I could swear that the car was fine. Oh yeah, you can drive through the gas station thing, can't you? See, I'm used to driving through that and it exploding in GTA. There you go.
3 for 3. You're moving up.
Oh, fair enough. That makes sense. That does make sense. I've sort of, after the first 10 minutes of cutscenes, I've just been skipping them all. Just because, quite honestly, I'm bored with EA trying to make this. Have a story when they don't know how to write a story. They just don't. They try. They try and write story. Doesn't work. All I've found so far in the, like I say, the 10 minutes of story I've actually watched, you know, through cutscenes, is that I can't stand any of the characters. They're all irritating little asses. And I'm so glad that she got her car taken away from her. Because, you know, she annoyed me by making me follow her to a location. And it took her 10 minutes to drive there. Right, you're Mr. Drift, aren't you? Ah. Hang on a minute. There's a light blue box in the drift race, in the drift street section on that. No light box on that. I think the light box might be something to do with what setup you need. See, these are the things that the cutscene should be telling you. Not, oh, she got a car taken away. The happiest moment was her car getting taken. If all the characters could also have the phones confiscated, that'd be brilliant. Just so that I don't have to hear them. Yeah, EA really should stop trying to make me listen to the story that they put into things. It is. Like I say, we've got this about 7 hours worth of this game played now. And I have never noticed that little light blue box on missions. So let's just have a quick look. Because now we should be out of it for her. She should have a little... No, she doesn't. It turns out her missions don't give a crap what car you're in. But look, his little box and we're in the box. I did most of it until the point where, again, the characters started to get boring. But I have put like a lot of time into Payback. Because like I say, that was one of the first ones that started to feel like EA sort of knew what they were doing with Need for Speed. And sort of getting it back on track to being a Need for Speed game. Just the map was too big, and this whole character switching thing, that was just frustrating, because unlike GTA where each of them had a personality, when you're in a driving game, your character is secondary to the vehicle that you're driving, so trying to give your character a vehicle. You alright, mate? How you doing? Trying to give the characters a personality and having multiple different characters sort of doesn't work. Whereas GTA, each one can be fleshed out and have their own storyline. That rings a bell. Skyhammer mission. Which one was that? That definitely rings a bell. Like, I've definitely done it. I just can't put my finger on which one it is. Skyhammer. Isn't there like a mission or two of setup work for that? I could swear there were like a couple of missions which were like sort of setup missions for it. Like I said, I did only play Payback when it came out. Sort of like a couple of months after it came out, and that's the last time I did the story. Now whenever I fire it up, I tend to... Oh, whatever, we're 30 under it. It's fine. Yes. Yes, it does.
About time you threw me a real tip.
I think I do remember. Yeah, whenever I fire up Payback now, it tends to just be to mess around a bit. Target of 50,000. Okay, we just got 10,000 while not being anywhere near the road.
Not gonna lie, I've seen better from you.
Why does he feel the need to comment on every single drift I do? I don't need to hear him saying I've seen better from you. That's not relevant information. Oh, there you go. We've beaten the target score even though our car is 30 under. Oh, look, police. Bye-bye.
All units, we've got eyes on a suspect behind the wheel of a 65 Mustang.
Just pretend like this is challenging you just a little bit.
That is the first relevant thing he's said. Can you just pretend that it's challenging you a little bit? The answer is no, I can't pretend that it's challenging me a bit, because amazingly the drifting in this game actually feels okay. And again, something I've not been able to say about a Need for Speed game in a long time. Because the last time it felt nice was original Most Wanted. And so I got excited for Need for Speed Carbon because they made a point of it being oh, this is going to be all drifting, and it's effectively Fast and Furious Tokyo Drift because that film had just come out. And so they were playing up to the hype of that. But it just sort of, they've ruined the drift mechanics in that game, so it just sort of was such a letdown. And I think that's why it didn't do as well as the rest. If they remade Carbon, I think it'd do well. You alright, Kings? A gold G-Wagon. Nice. That is an impressive combo. Why did that police car decide that it wanted to change direction just as I turned the corner? I find it really difficult to escape the police when I've got the car set up in drift. It's one of those. Let's go in the water. Look, busting. I was doing 30 miles an hour. Like, they can bust you at 30 miles an hour. How are you getting me out of the car at 30 miles an hour? No, I imagine your wallet didn't agree with that point. I'm going to set up for her event, which tends to need... Yeah. I don't need a cutscene to go in the garage. Like, I understand it's probably there because they're loading in assets behind it, but still. Oh, did I change that? I always forget what I've changed. Oh, we're on super, that's why. Oh, I've already changed the tyres. I'm losing my mind. So did you buy those? Did you buy that stuff extra? With, like, real world money? That's one thing I've not done in these games. My logic is once I've bought a game, I've already paid you for the work you've done on the game. Whatever they choose not to give me, whatever. I just won't have it then. It was my major problem with Dirt Rally 2.0. The fact that they created so much content for it, but only included less than a handful. Like, you couldn't really put together a rally series in it. And it's a game literally called Dirt Rally. Oh! Oh, that's a lot. That is a lot of grinding in that game to get that money. But yeah, I bought Dirt Rally 2.0 about a week ago now. Just because it was on sale at £13 and came with all of the DLC. And so that was a good deal. Oh, nice. Well, that's always a bonus, isn't it? I wish I had that kind of money in the real world, though. even the 400,000 would do me. I'd be happy with that.
You here?
Yeah. Figure it was time to
Okay, come on, I'm skipping it. I've been pressing X for a very long time. Okay, so we've got a Mitsubishi, an M3, that annoying turd. Are you a Ford or are you the Mercedes that looks like a Ford? Okay, my turn to lead. I've played a little bit of Forza Horizon 4, and it does seem fun. The only problem with it is it also feels like a lot of the things in it are, it sort of forces DLC down your throat, but also it sells out a lot. So it feels like it pushes a lot more product down your throat than other games. And yeah, it is very arcadey, but it is also very fun. And the fact that it's English, or in England, even if it is fake England, you know, that helps. And specs, which PC do you want the specs for? Do you want the streaming system or the game system? I like the way we race at night on this game, and then they go, oh, looks like we're going to have company. Well, yeah. Oh, great, here he comes. And I can't skip it. Game, so it is a AMD Ryzen 7 2700X with a GTX 1080 graphics card, 16 gigs of DDR4 RAM, and then an assortment of miscellaneous like hard drives and SSDs. So I've got like an SSD with the boot drive on. Oh, am I meant to like crash into him then? I'll just park here. Does he know he had half a tree? But yeah, so I've got the SSD with the game, with the operating system on. I've got an SSD for editing video. And then I've got a couple of just hard drives for, obviously, games and stuff like that. Oh, and a Corsair. Oh, whatever. I'm glad she don't have a car. I've got a Corsair CX850M is the power supply. Just so I've got like a bit more room to breathe with the power. See, this entire thing doesn't really tell me what I'm meant to do. I assume I'm meant to keep on crashing into him, but somehow going really slowly affected him more than me actually slamming into him. So, go figure. Oh, I seem to have broken his car. And nice.
Officer Shaw, immobilized and in need of assistance. Be on alert for yellow Camaro.
That's our cue. I gotta get back to the garage. Meet me there as soon as you can.
I'm going to follow her and see if she actually goes back to the garage. To the garage. Because, I mean, we're only 2 corners away from it now. I mean, she can't drive in a straight line, so I think she might be drunk. Okay, this is the garage. We're here. Hey, look at that! I mean, she crashed into the damn thing, but that's quite impressive. Well done, well done, EA and Ghost. I'm impressed with that. That's very good. She actually drives back to the garage. I can't remember the last game where a character said, I will meet you at a place, and then went and met me at a place. Okay, I'm trying to skip. Thank you. Don't care about any of this. The story is the most boring part of this entire game, apart from the characters, who are also incredibly dull. Including the player character, who is the dullest of the lot. Okay, we've got a M4, MG. I don't care about either of those. Okay. Okay, piqued my interest a little bit. Don't care about that. Don't really care about that. Or that. That's just stupid. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Don't care about that. Oh, a Countach. Fair enough. I mean, I'm not going to buy any of those cars.
Hit me up when you got that grill.
Yeah. How much do I have? 399,000. Right, let's go to the dealership. I want a Subaru. As in an Impreza, not a fake Subaru, which would be a Subaru Biazzi, which isn't a Subaru. Oh god, it's now 34 degrees C in here. Ooh, everything clings.
Place on the coast. Scrappers down there do business trading rare parts. Now, I just know they got a grill for a 67 Camaro. The trouble is, I can't get it to sell. Think you can go down there and plead my case? No problem. Thanks. Oh, you should know, these guys don't like using roads. So I tuned a car and sent it down there, just in case you need it.
Oh, I don't want any of that. I want the dealership, don't I? I forgot that was the part shop. Dealership's around the back, isn't it? There it is. Yeah, but when it's right behind, it's one of those pointless fast travel things. If the dealership was on the other side of the map, that'd actually be really useful. You know, to fast travel to that. What do we want? What do we want? Look, that is not a Subaru. It isn't. It goes by 2 other names, and neither of those other names are Subaru. That just screams like, I'm going to kill you now. Typical 90s car. It is. It is 3 cars in one. The problem is it's not good at being any of them. There's an Evo 10. Mustang GT. That's a nice car. Challenger. I remember the SRT8 coming out. Evo 9. Have you noticed how the Evo 9, by the way, is actually more expensive than the Evo 10? OG Skyline is sort of meh. Like a lot of the cars in this game and a lot of other Need for Speed games, you will notice are actually the same car. So here, we had the Skyline, GTR V spec from 93 or the GTR V spec from 99. They're basically the same car. But they've been able to put them in twice and say we have an extra car in our game. So it's little tricks like that that these developers do that up the car number in games when really you're still only getting a few. Like 2 Mitsubishi Evos. The Evo 9 and the Evo 10 aren't really that different. And if you're going to put one of them in your game, you probably put the 9 in because that's the more famous of the two. And the 10's probably the more popular of the two. I'm fairly sure the last time Mitsubishi were sort of competitive in rally was with an Evo 9. I believe. See, that's a nice car. They might as well have just left that skyline in, haven't they? Yeah. DV7, where is it? Have I passed it? Or did I pass it, I should say. Yeah, you don't really get cheaper. Oh, the Fox body. See, I don't like the Fox body. Ken Block seems to have a thing for Fox bodies. I don't know if it's just because they're rarer than the normals, but I don't like the Fox body as much. I mean, I don't like the 90s Mustang that much, really, but the Fox body looks like it's been reversed into a shed and someone's forgot to stop. There you go. 2006 though, and for some reason they've rounded out the front a bit too much. Right next to a beautiful truck. The F-150 Raptor. It's a shame that they've not gone with the tuning company of... can't remember which tuning company, but... and put the F-150 Velociraptor in. There you go, the new GTRs. That car right there. Fun fact. When I worked at football clubs, like a few years ago, about 6 years ago, 3 years ago now. No, 2 years ago, sorry. Phil Neville had one of them in blue. I know that because he pulled up next to me. Nearly ran me over in the damn thing. He didn't nearly run me over in it. That's a lie. But he did have one. I imagine he doesn't anymore. But he did. NSX. Look at that. I love the way Polestar just went, this is our first car, what should we call it? 1. There you go. That'll do. Not an F-150 though, is it? There you go. When they went to a smaller body style and when they became uncompetitive in the WRC. Although Peter Solberg did still drive it for a year or two. TS. Could not care less about that. It should. This is what I love about these games. It gets to this section and I'm just like, I don't care about your cars that all look the same. Like, I don't want to own any of them. Yeah. It is. I agree with you, Batman. That is the most interesting sports car that I've seen so far in this top end. The Corvette ZR1. And that's only because it looks like someone attacked it with a hatchet first. Look at that. How boring is that? I'm sorry, it just is. The Aventador used to look good in all black. Don't care about your Ford GT. Original Ford GT. Maybe. Look at this though. Here you go. Here's another example. So we've already had one Aventador. Aventador, 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 That's 4 bloody Lamborghini Aventadors in the game. So instead of saying we have a Lamborghini Aventador, we have 4 Lamborghini Aventadors. That puts your car count up, doesn't it? They are. How many 911s have we passed? Which are all just Volkswagen Beetles. And they've included the Beetle as well, so... There you go, Ferrari the Ferrari. The Vulcan is just... Which DB was it? Was it a DB9? It's just a DB9 with a chin spoiler. That's it. Yeah. One of them was just a convertible. That was the only difference. See, this I'm willing to forgive. Having a second version of sort of like the 350Z and, you know, I'm not willing to forgive that one because that's got no excuse. But like a second F-150 that's already modified in a unique way, that's fine. So long as you don't include it in your car count. But also, are you ready to see the fact that even EA and the rest of the developers know that Need for Speed Most Wanted, the original, was the best game that they made? Even over Underground 2. Because the car from the box art is still here. Every single Need for Speed game since Most Wanted has had that damn car in. The 2006 M3 GTR Limited Edition. With the blue and white swoosh. I think there's like 2 games since 2006 that don't have that car in. The rest of them all have that car. EA cannot let go. And the problem is, it's not even that good a car. It was pretty shit in Most Wanted. Okay, so I can't actually get to the Subarus yet. 24 for the ruined body style of a Subaru. And for the 2006, level 20. 2 more levels to go before I can actually get a good car. Of course I want to leave the dealership. I'm not spending my money on any of the others. Nah, there's nothing that the Lambo can do that this car can't. I'm going to have like a 4-car garage. I'm going to get one of the Mitsubishi Lancer Evos. I'm going to grab both of the Subarus, and I'm going to have this Ford Mustang 65. That's all you need. And at that point, that's when you can start doing the thing of, you know, making one of them your drift car, one of them your race car, one of them your... Well, I guess you don't need a drag car anymore, do you? Because they've got rid of that one. Whoops. Right, we need to make this into a drift car, I believe. I believe that's probably what he's after. Yeah. Thought as much. Okay. We'll make it into a drift car. Why not?
Still no news on that cop. Don't imagine too many people around here are gonna miss him.
I don't know if you heard that, but he just said no. Still no news on that cop. I don't imagine many people around here are gonna miss him. It makes him sound like they've killed him. Dory, I got what you meant. Yeah, just one of us acts as a blocker for the other one. I may have just forgotten that I put all of the drift parts on. I may have over-accelerated out of that corner. Yeah, just one of us acts as a blocker and the other one just sort of do the race. Welcome, Cambam. Cheers for the follow, mate. But yeah, I'm going to go with a 4-car setup for this. You said there were 3 different disciplines, really, that you need the cars focused on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use your advice, and I'm going to focus, probably have the 2010 Subaru will be the drift car. Even though I prefer a longer drift car, we'll have that one because, you know. And then the 06 Subaru Impreza will be our all-rounder. This car that we're in now will become our, like, straight line speed car and our street racing car. And then our Mitsubishi will become our standard race car for everything else. I think that's how we're going to do this. I am going to have to stop soon because it is absolutely boiling in here. Yep, not a problem, mate. I should still be here. I can't see me not being here. Yeah, that's right. We only just got that, but it counts. Only just making it means that we still made it. This is grim. I can feel sweat dripping down my face. I know nobody on the stream asked if I had sweat dripping down my face, but now you know. So there you go. See, on Friday, I actually found the game that I wanted to stream on Monday, so we'll do that. We'll have that week, like I say, of streaming obscure Tycoon games. We started on Game Dev Tycoon. We'll play this today, obviously. Of course we're going to play this today. We're playing it. And then on Friday... Welcome back, Batman. Really? He crashed into me. I'm sorry, but he just did. That was not my fault. If he hadn't been driving like a lunatic... All I could hear is my phone ringing. Just flip that thing over. Number 1, I'm working. Number 2... I'm boiling, and number 3, I'm trying to escape from the police. Don't have time for phone calls. Whey, off he goes. Idiot. I might have been on the wrong side of the road, but he was driving like a lunatic, overtaking a van on the dirt. Look, busting. How? We're going 20 miles an hour. You drag me out of a car at 20 miles an hour, please. See, once again, I've got the drift setup going. And of course that's solid. Come on. Go. 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 Oh, fine. Fine, we'll go this way. Okay, escaped. Good. Where's that police car going? I just want to get to this race. That's all I want to do. I want to get to the race so I can fail at the race. Okay, we're good. We're clear. Safe. Okay. Yeah, yeah, available at night. I don't really care. Just get on with it. Look at this. That is all I have left for alcohol in the entire house.
Put down my score.
So upset.
Everything I got.
If I win,
Like, that's it.
Say you beat the best actor in the
I can't even sit down after the stream and have like a cold beer. I just have like 2 sips of Jack left.
One last big slide. Come on.
So upsetting.
We're looking pretty.
But luckily the shopping comes tomorrow.
Figure out how that was even possible.
I like that. I'll try and figure out how that was even possible. I'll tell you how. By losing control.
Keep pushing now.
Come on. Move. Oh god. How we doing? How we doing? Okay.
Keep it going if you want to win.
How we're not at 50% of this race done yet, and we're already at about 50,000, roughly.
Not forgetting that one anytime soon.
Yeah, I think we might be okay.
Great steering.
That was another 10,000. All these cars could bugger off, that'd help. Just saying.
Don't waste this one.
50%, we're halfway there. And we are at 97,000. 100,000 is our score and 140,000 is our target. So we need 40,000. From this.
Really special.
From the next 40% of the track.
That's a start.
Oh, look, the police are here.
Things just got complicated.
Right.
Going after a hot shot in a 65 Mustang.
I'll shoot that back out.
Got a driver out there that needs taken down.
I'll tell you what would help if these guys could, like, knock the rear end out a bit.
Don't get me in trouble.
Move. Thank you.
What's the status? I'm working on it.
132,000. There you go, that'll do us. Target score hit. Excellent. Okay.
Gotta keep that focus.
See ya. I love how trees are made of cardboard in this. They do just disappear. Oh, that bloody van. Well, I gave the police a chance. We can't say I didn't give them the chance to arrest me.
Got more in you, I know it.
Okay. Now we have to escape these gates.
Hey, anybody else got eyes on the subject? I can't see.
I want that driver found. No excuses.
Think you lost him?
I did lose them. Now what's this marker you've put on my map? Let's roll. Come on. That van had moved a little bit faster. Would have been fine. Oh, parting gift. Is this going to be that police guy again? What does he want? Or have I finished the entire story? Because that wouldn't surprise me either. Oh. Oh. Oh, that was a heavy one, that one. And it's above me. Of course it's above me. Why wouldn't it be above me? I saw that car then, just hidden at the back, and I thought it would suddenly turn into payback, and that I could claim the car. That was good. Claiming the wrecked cars in payback. And the fact that they had those cars that were there for a limited time and then would eventually come back around. That was possibly one of the best features of Payback. I would like to know where I'm going though. Nothing down there, is there? No, okay. I'm just driving round this entire place at the minute. Oh, look. I knew there had to be something around here. Sure. Sure, we'll have whatever I just got. Ah! For God's sake, I drove around the entire thing and there was a bloody ramp here. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's one of the best things about Forza. Definitely. Like, the barn finds are actual barn finds. And you sort of sit there and spend time trying to make them great. Do we assume that this is all enclosed and I can just drive off the edge? No, no it isn't. Okay. So it's the first level that I need to get to then. This is so ridiculous. Ah.
No shame in losing to a
Where's the car that was parked there
Sure about that?
when I pulled up?
Be gracious here. Seriously. Didn't think driving could ever
Yeah. I wish I'd have changed it to race, but then again, I had to do that on a drift event, so maybe not. Yeah, I've no idea what that was all about, but oh well. That is not my concern to understand the story in this game. Okay, where are we going? Let's roll. I was about to say, I'm going to go to the garage and switch this back to my race setup. But it will just... Oh. Right, fine. We'll just turn right then. We'll go to the nearest one. Okay. Ah, it was hidden with this bloody double marker thing going on. There we go. We're back.
Well, progress is progress.
Progress is progress. Well done. New cars unlocked. Okay. Oh, was that the last drift event? Oh. Oh, okay.
I know it's bad, but Anna still hasn't called. You think
Right.
I should?
So I want to switch all of this.
Wait a little longer.
I didn't realize that was the last one. Like, the requirement for that event was a level 260 vehicle. Ours is 210. 249 now, but it was about 210 when we did it. I want to have a look at the map. Why are you locked? Why have you got a locked icon on here? Is that because you still think I'm playing at night? Which one? The 350Z? Shouldn't it already have come as a drift car? That seems to be what the 350Z is sort of designed for. And the fact I got it from the drift competition thing, you'd think that the game would already... Yeah, I was going to say you'd think that the game would sort of give you it as a drift car and say, here you go, here's a car for drifting. We'll just cut across here. It's fine. Completely fine. Okay, there's some spray paint thing coming up. We'll grab that. By the way, it still thinks I'm doing the drift event. It's still got all that stuff up. Yeah. Yeah, I can see a Toyota definitely doing it. So you're trying to tell me that that's the one thing that the BRZ is actually good at? Because I'm yet to find a use for it. Ooh. Temperature are we at now? 35.5. See, if I wanted to be sat in a room at 35.5 degrees, I'd be in Spain or Greece. One of my friends just went to Greece, like, last week or the week before. They were there for a week. And I was just sort of, you know, as you do when people are in, like, a different country, you check the temperature there, don't you? They were sat at 30 degrees, whilst in the UK, in Manchester at least, it was 25. And you're like, well, this is too hot already. This room was at 31 degrees. So I'm like, well, I'm at the same temperature. Why didn't I go to Greece? Because I might as well have. We'll just start. Time are we on now? 5:30.
Lucas spoke to you about a grill.
See, there you go. That's an alright Chevy truck. And then you've got the 2010 Subaru Impreza, which is the one that Brian drove
Gotta beat me first.
in not Most Wanted. I've got Need for Speed on the brain. In Fast and Furious. Hold on a minute. Am I driving this Subaru? Have you given me a Subaru? They've given me a Subaru.
Let's hope you got more to offer than that washed up mechanic.
Yeah, okay. Move. Everybody move, including you. This game is very, very nice. Okay. This game just got better. I imagine I don't get to keep it, though. I imagine they do what they did last time, and they pull the bait and switch, where I get to drive the nice car, and then go, oh, by the way, here, have your choice of 3 different rubbish cars.
I'm just playing cat and mouse.
Yeah, I didn't think so. Don't worry, we'll make one that's even better than this one. Which shouldn't be difficult because this one's quite slow. There you go. I still think the controls need work, so the double tap on the accelerator to activate the drift thing, not good. Let me have my handbrake as the way to activate drifting. Let me tap the handbrake as I turn into a corner. Because that way I can slow down for a corner without drifting round it every time. It was a silly place for them to put it. Like, if anybody had put any thought into it, they'd have thought, why don't other games do this? Oh yeah, because it's a silly idea.
It's on your side today.
Oh look, these must be the last place guys. What do I have? I have 2 more boosts left. Sod it, why not? Let's try and lap them. Hello. I think one of them is probably Kyle and SP. So they're usually around. And then the other one I'm not sure. Like, I'm cool with it, you know.
Nice driving.
I've done it as well. Sometimes I'll be watching something and I just won't. I don't necessarily talk in every stream that I watch. Like, it's one of those things where when I'm watching, it's kind of like I'm just sort of sat there to watch it. Sometimes I don't want to join in the conversation as it was.
I told him to leave.
You what?
I'm just happy with people being here. Oh, I have to smash it, don't I? There you go. Okay. The nearest garage is round here, isn't it? It's at this side of this area, I'm sure. Yes, there it is. Look at all the police hanging around on the minimap. Oh, bit of tree just fell out of the sky. Just gonna sneak into the garage without them noticing. Oh, fucking hell.
Hey, that grill arrived. Sounds like you had a successful trip. Thanks.
What grill? I was getting a grill. Ah, it's all good, mate. Don't worry about it. I'm currently sitting at about 35.5 degrees in the room, which is, you know, very nice. We'll just go on to this one. It's fine. Oh yeah, it's totally casual, this weather. Look, that's how this car came. With a big massive hole in the grille. Like, who's having that over the bloody original Mustang grille? And why would I want to pay for any of that? The Mustang. Oh, don't worry, I'll be having all the windows open when this stream's done. Right, so your off-road is what I need to tune that for. And, oh no, there she is. Okay, let's go for her then. See, mine was just what are the first things that I can select. The first, like, clothing options I could select of face and stuff, that's what I went with. Because, like I say, the character in this really doesn't matter, it's all about the cars.
I got a message about getting my missing car back.
From who?
No idea. Whoever it is, they want
And nice, well, if we're in fake Miami anyway, you might as well act like you're on holiday, right? Oh, nice. I am still going to record that at some point, Kyle. I don't know when. Turns out the recordings I did for the last series on the rally section of Dirt 4, as well as my, what was it, Minecraft. The post stream on Minecraft. Both of them.
Great, just what we needed.
No good.
Hang on.
No good at all.
It's not
The mic audio is completely blown out on them.
Find out.
Because I recorded them on the game computer, and there's no way to EQ it, really. So you just have to guess with the volume dial.
Screw this. Guess you don't want your car back. You guessed right, Torres.
Oh, too late. It updated before the
We know
stream.
all about the shit you've been doing around here. You think you can play us? Think again.
The character talks.
You pulled the other night was a bad move.
Our character talks in this? I've never heard him talk. I might have heard him talk and just not realised it was him. Hold on a minute, that was the entire mission.
a message. Looks like this place is by the port. Meet you there when you're ready.
God's sake.
I want to find out anything
Right, why then was the level, recommended level for that mission, that specific mission that we just drove to, 149? Oh, do not tease me with a good time. Her car gets destroyed. Awesome. I hope she can't get a new one either. Because if that's the case, she'd have to get driven around by us. And if she was driven around by us, then she'd have to go at the speed we were driving at. Which means we'd actually get there. I'm just gonna turn down here for no reason. Have you tried either running a scan while you're not really using the computer, and then it won't try and scan anything, or turning off the what's it called? Like the live monitoring of Windows Defender. You know, the one that constantly scans new files and folders on your computer? Try turn that off. So I imagine that's probably what it is. Oh, don't you worry, I'll find a way to stop it. No, in all fairness, like the drives that I have, apart from that PCIe drive in the editing system, none of them really hold that much data anyway. And the data that they do hold is stuff like games and all that. All of my storage, my heavy storage, like the 12 terabytes in the vault, that's not running on Windows anyway, so we're fine. I think it may just be scanning the computer. I think it may just be doing an initial scan again. And I think it'll settle down again after a while. It tends to. I don't think I've ever been on this bit of the map. Never noticed that bridge before. I've probably driven over it. There we go. How far away are we? Oh, I should have gone up that ramp and got the billboard. Bugger. Yeah, that's the thing. Computers do tend to fix themselves after a while. I've noticed that. I mean, it's like earlier, isn't it, with this game? You saw how much this game really wasn't having it today. And then it's run fine since we started it back up the second time. Nice. Go on then. Run your spec list down. Run what you're thinking so far. Oh, it requires a next level of reputation. After all that driving. Really? Right. Is there any random races? Like, look, nowhere on that. Oh no, it does say right in the middle. I was gonna say, nowhere on that does it say. Okay, you're a circuit, aren't you? You'll do. You're close enough. Do you have a certain AMD processor in mind? Or like other things that you use your computer for? As opposed to just games? Because didn't you say you were thinking about like recording and uploading gameplay and stuff like that? With it? Oh, that car did not move. Neither did that tree. That's got to be the first tree that we've hit in a long time that didn't move. Yeah, but to be honest, I don't see much point at the minute in getting the newest chips. Like, the only reason I've got the 3900X in the editing system is because it was cheapest for 12 core 24 thread at the time versus other AMD chips and definitely over Intel. Well, that's the only reason I'm on current gen Ryzen for that. This one I upgraded in January and I went second generation. because... Oh, I've just passed where I'm going, haven't I? Yeah, I went second generation because, to be honest, if you're just gaming on it and doing basic video editing, then, you know, you don't really need the newest processor.
Hey, can I?
A guy starts a sentence of, hey, can I ask you something? And I'm just like, no. Which one, the 3900X? What I'd say about that is it's a warm CPU. Like, she toasted. The stock cooler can handle it to a point. But I know you're like me where you sort of like your things to run cooler than they need to. So you definitely want like a triple 120mm fan rad. So you're looking at like a 360mm rad. Would definitely tame it. Oh yeah, a D15 would do as well. I'm not sure about the D15S. I mean, the only difference between the two is that one of them comes with a single fan. You can still connect a second 120mm fan to the S to give you the same performance as the non-S version. Oh, well, there you go. Use that. And clearly you've got a case that it fits in as well. But I mean, to be honest, that is like massively overpowered for gaming and basic video. Unless you can get like a dirt cheap deal on it. I know there are some 3900X sale things. If you go on scan.co.uk, they sell an OEM one which comes without the cooler. So it's just the CPU. And I can't remember if that's cheaper or not, but like if you've already got a cooler that you're going to use with it, then it makes sense to not buy the cooler as well. If you can get it cheaper like that. Ah, no. Okay, second. We'll deal with that. Hello. Welcome. Oh, I pressed the thing. Did I level up? Did anyone notice if I leveled up then? No, I didn't.
Finally got that grill fitted on the Camaro. She's starting to look like her old self. Need any more help? Thanks, but
See, are you planning on editing the video? I think I asked you this last time.
around the raceway. I must have been 5. I stood on his lap looking through the wheel. He was acting like a race caller cheering me on. Don't think I ever won a race that felt better than that.
Because if you're only doing like basic editing of like sort of chopping bits out, then you should be fine on like a 2700X, so obviously a 3700 is the one you'd probably want, because that's newer and, you know, has a little bit more of the optimization stuff, and is using the next generation architecture. And Batman, I am using the... When you get the choice to change the NOS, I'm using the 6 pound NOS, I believe. Because it had the option of like 2 shots at 3 pounds or 6 pounds in a single shot, and I'm like, we'll go with the powerful one. It does. It's stupid. I want my control of the NOS back, is what I want. You know, where you can sort of just like hold the button for as long as you want, let go, and then use it again straight away if you need to. I don't like this one-shot wonder nonsense. I didn't mean to press that button, but sure. You know this thing where you hit the button and it goes mental and you have no fine control over it? Don't like it. Don't approve. Give me my fine control back. Where you used to hold L1 to, like, fire off the NOS for a few seconds. They are, but games are starting to use more CPU cores, yes, but you'll be hard-pressed to find a game that uses even 6 CPU cores. What your CPU is mainly going to be used with will be when you're editing video. You know, when you're rendering it out. And to be honest, even then it shouldn't hit that hard if you use an NVENC encoder, which will utilize the GPU as well. So, like, this is a 8-core, 16-thread system, the game system currently. And then the editing system is a 12-core, 24-thread. And to be honest, I've rarely seen this get beyond 4 cores. No, as much as I love Intel, and I do love Intel, AMD just have better options. They just have better options at the minute. Which is great, because it'll force Intel eventually, when they get their head out of their ass, to make something good. Because they've been sat on their thumbs for too long, but... yeah. AMD definitely have the best price to performance ratios at the minute. So I would go AMD all the way, as you can probably tell in the way I have done. Like, every system I've owned from my first one up to just before I upgraded this, minus one of them, minus the first build I ever did, but that's because AMD had really ridiculous, like, value options in the APU series, has been Intel based. Every system where I've known what I've been doing has been Intel until these. You don't have to worry about that. If you're buying a new CPU, then you won't have bent pins. And I don't think that you'll be rough enough with it to bend pins when you're putting it in. You follow the instructions, job's done. There's no... As long as you're careful, you'll be fine. I've got faith in you. Put it this way, I'm yet to bend any pins. And I've built and messed with many, many systems over the years. So I'm pretty sure you'll be fine. See how much speed that took away from me then, that drift, whereas Gunner's drift did nothing to his speed. Come on. There we go. I got past him, eventually. Nice, third system. That's good going. No, you'll be fine. Just so long as you're careful with it. Then there's not really any risk to it. You just can't be rough with it. Why were we on a hill going down it? Weird place for it to spawn me. But yeah, you take your time. Job done. You hear that? The hell is that? Bear with me. Trying to discover the source of that banging, as you probably heard. Just text the people in the house, just like, is that you banging? Or what is happening? Move your stupid car out of the way. It's 6 o'clock anyway. That's probably a good point to call it, actually, innit? But yeah, Kai, you'll be completely fine building that. If you want to jump on the Discord in the rig rundown one, like, we'll all jump in. And like I say, I'd go with probably a 3700X as the CPU in it. Like, it's what is current generation now. It shouldn't be too overpowered for like games, but should also give you enough horsepower to edit video with it and not have ridiculously long render times and stuff like that. At minimum, I'd go with at least 16 gigs of RAM. If you're planning on editing video, preferably 32 plus. Of as fast RAM as you can get is what you're looking for with Ryzen. That's just like a general rule. You want the fastest RAM you can get and the most RAM you can get. Good choice. The editing system here, I believe, has the 32 and this one has the 16 for the game system, because obviously games don't really use that much. GPU, are you changing your graphics card? Because if you are, I would hold off on changing it for a while. Yeah, with something like the... Right, I mean, I'm only running 3600 megahertz RAM.
Ever since Anna smashed up Poppy's car,
Yeah, I'd wait for the new ones to come out, but I wouldn't buy one. I'd buy this generation, the RTX 20 series is where I'd go. That's where I'd be buying. I'd wait like a couple of months after the new cards come out, and then I'd jump in and buy one of this series of RTX cards. You know, when people are just trying to sell them and get rid, perfect time to do it. Or get yourself a 1080 Ti when the next generation of Nvidia cards come out. because that should drop them even lower than they are now, which is like 600-ish, which is the range of a 2080, let's be honest. Oh yeah, you have a 1080 Ti, don't you? Okay, yeah. Then I'd wait a little bit and grab like a 2080 Ti. Because you don't want to get a 2080 or 2080 Super when you're coming from a 1080 Ti. Going to a 2080, and don't worry, Batman, you don't need to understand the terms. It's not a requirement. You are more than welcome on the Discord still, though. Don't worry. We have like a bunch of different like chats on there. So it's something for everyone. But yeah, going from a 1080 to a 2080 Super gave me pretty much no improvement at 4K. It gave me like 10 frames a second. No. No, you think? That's what they try to make you believe. This is the lie that Nvidia tell you. No, it genuinely isn't. At 4K, with the exact same settings, I'd changed the CPU from a 4-core 8-thread Intel one to... Welcome to Twitch.chat, crack. Sorry for stumbling over your name. But welcome, thank you. Yeah, so with going from a 4-core 8-thread Intel system with 8 gigs of RAM and a GTX 1080 to this system now, only it was obviously the 8-core, 16 threads. It has 16 gigs of RAM, and I had a 2080 Super in there. And I got, wait for this number, 10 FPS. Identical settings across the board. And to be honest, 5 of those FPS came from CPU and RAM because I still have those 5 FPS improved over the old system. But yeah, going back from the 2080 Super to the 1080, near enough no difference, 5 FPS. Like I say, it is not worth it. The only upgrade from this system would be to a 2080 Ti. Because the 2080 and the 2080 Super are just 1080s. They just are. A stock 2080 Super is like a... sort of, how would you put it, like a overclocked 1080 is the equivalent, only without RTX, but who's using RTX? I mean, really. The performance, like, drop you get from it is just not really worth it unless you're recording gameplay and doing cinematic things. Yeah. The 1070 Ti is a 1080. It's a 1080 with, like, different clothes on. That's all it is. But the problem is that you can't get a 1070 Ti and a 1080 and have them running in SLI on the same rig. Which is a shame, because obviously I'd be doing that. But yeah, so I would wait for the next generation of NVIDIA graphics cards to come out, and then I'd grab the 2080 Ti when the next generation comes out, you know, and the price drops. Oh, 98 would probably be the better looking, I think. Which was the one that Brian drives in the first Fast and Furious? What year was that? Was that 2001 Supra? Or was it a 98? Can't quite remember the year. Yeah, Kai, I'd definitely wait. It's Gigabyte. All three of my graphics cards that I've like had recently. My GTX 1080 is a... is it Triforce or something? Whatever it is, the one with 3 fans. One of those. I think it's Triforce Gaming from Gigabyte. The 1660 that I've got in the streaming system is from... who is it? I think it's Palette. I think it's a Palette one. Just like nice and cheap, but it works perfectly. And they are actually a reputable brand now, which is great. The 2080 Super I got was again Gigabyte. But like I say, the difference in game was just like... no, I mean... what I mean, Batman, is like... what year was it? Because I mean, I'm sure there's been like a 2001 Supra and stuff like that. So I'm sure they've... it might not have been the 98, is what I mean. Oh, nice. That's still a worthy card. What a card like that would actually be good for is stuff like when you're encoding to an NVENC one, and it can make you use of its CUDA cores. So... see, I don't tend to overclock these cards. Like, I just tend to leave them stock because they come factory overclocked anyway, so... like, I'm happy with that performance. Like, it's over base anyway, so I'm fine with it. I don't even switch on gaming mode most of the time. So I still have, like, performance left on the floor, but it also means it runs a little bit cooler. Which in weather like this is definitely necessary. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's a good use for it. That's actually a very good use for it. So I'm going to guess that you had like a virtualized second system on there. And you just sort of split your CPU in half. And you just assigned that graphics card to... and just assigned that graphics card to it. No, I mean with your dual GPU setup that you had. Yeah, Mixer sort of went away, which is a shame. Oh, fair enough. That works. But yeah, my advice to building computers right now would be wait to see what AMD announce next, and wait to see what Nvidia are going to announce in about 20 days. Because when those products get released, this 3000 series of AMD products and the 20 series of Nvidia products should both start to drop just a little bit. Even if it's £100 saved on like one of the items, that's £100 in your pocket that can then go on like a 1TB PCIe SSD or something like that. You know, money in your pocket is always better than money in their pocket. And so I'd probably just like, I'd plan it out now, but I'd hold off a little bit until the announcements before actually pulling the trigger on buying it. Just, you know. Well, the thing is, Batman, at this point, I'm sort of boiling, and I'm going to end the stream in a minute, and I don't know what they're doing next door, because all I can hear is banging and drilling, and I know that this mic picked up the banging a minute ago, and I can hear them drilling, and they're doing it on this wall right behind me, the one with the stripes on. So, like, if I can hear them over headphones and music and all that, then, you know, they're definitely being loud. But yeah, so as always with these streams, what we are going to do though is we're going to see the highlight that goes up on YouTube in about 45 minutes is when it goes live. So anyone who's new here, you probably won't have seen this before, but on the YouTube channel, highlights go up on the same days that I stream, but they're also of older streams. And so what I've started doing in August is we watch like the stream, the highlights effectively of a previous stream. And it's the one that goes up. It's, like I say, it's about 45 minutes away from being live on YouTube in full 4K, all that good stuff. But yeah, it's just like having a little watch party where we just get to sit back, chill for a little bit, watch it, laugh at how stupid I am most of the time. If I could spit that line out, that'd be brilliant, wouldn't it? But yeah, it's usually just like laughing at how stupid I am, for the most part. To do that, I need to then turn you up to about -10. And I also need these. So as you can see, the highlight that's going up today is from Dirt 4. I did try and record the last rally event. I think we had 3 rally events left to complete on Dirt 4 when we played it. And I tried to record the last like rally event, like the championship, but as I said earlier, the audio got messed up. Was recorded too loud initially and just blew everything out, so that sort of is in the drain, unfortunately, but it is what it is. But we still have this, and I will re-record, and we'll get those highlights up at some point as well. But yeah, so hello, welcome. We are playing Dirt 4. Oh, come on. That's a brilliant glitching post around it. Okay, we're first by how much? Oh, wait, this is just me watching a video at this point. That means that we can spin a couple of times now and not worry too much about it. I mean, we could still worry because, of course, we're going to spin and that's not going to end well for us. But we don't have to worry quite as much as we would before. That fucking thing again. Oh yeah, there will be swearing in this stream. Just going to warn you now. There you go. I think that was the nicest corner I did the entire stream of it. Hate racing at night. I mean, don't forget this game was actually recorded at 1080 because for some reason Dirt 4 didn't perform well at 4K with the steering wheel. The input lag was just greatly increased. Right, and it makes no sense very late, I feel. You know. That almost went badly. I mean, it would be raining, wouldn't it? One fit. Yes, perfect. Onwards. I'm actually going to concentrate on this because I want to get in first. Oh, come on. On the track. There we go. I do believe that most of the highlights in this are just me. No. Crashing into things. There we go. We're back. And sort of falling off the track and swearing at the car. Finish was right there as well. And that's pretty much how this entire thing went. Reverse and forwards. Right, we're going to do what we did last time here and just sort of take our time with it. I say that and then I end up hitting a tree straight away. Let's find some pace. I just took out the stop sign. How much more pace do you want from me, man? What I also try and do is not watch the entire highlight reel. There's still a reason to go and watch it on YouTube. And I also try and talk over most of it. Did you see that? I didn't even click that sign. I popped the rear and left. Ah, shit. Right, this car is broken. I can hear a rear left puncture, I can hear something ticking in the engine. The turbo we started with that broken, and I can barely hear Nicky over the sound of the broken car. Oh, this car sounds horrendous. There it is, there's finish. Go. Oh, we made it. Everyone get away from the car, I think it might blow up. Oh, I wonder if this like Start is around the
reaffirms
corner.
the point
This
of
isn't
me
fair.
liking Subarus.
God, I thought I'd crashed already. Do you think if I drive this cautiously,
Like the amount of
stand
times I've
half a
seen this
chance?
highlight reel.
We're good. We're alright. That's a silly idea. Let's just go for it. Right, we have to win. No, 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 no. Oh, shit. I'm one of those moments. No, yep, perfect. Meant that. Totally meant that. That's just how I go around corners. See, again, that's told you, that's how I go around corners.
I mean, I did it twice in a row and didn't mean to. So maybe
That
it's
felt
just how I go
unnecessary.
around corners. In
And
that
I've
game.
rolled. Come on. Oh.
Yeah, so I
that's a
think from now on we're
piss
not
take.
actually going to play
It used
Dirt
to be
4
that
on the
all of
streams,
highlight
which is quite
the
upsetting.
full streams were
I think what
unlisted
we're actually
on a
going to
playlist.
do is
They're not there now. That playlist doesn't exist.
we're going to end up
because
playing
we now
like
have
Dirt
a
Rally
second
2.0.
channel dedicated to the full
Which is
streams, so they can just be uploaded and put live.
But that's
so
why
if
I
you
want
wanna
to
see
do this
those
last
videos and you want to
event.
catch up on missed streams, that's the channel for you. But that's where they're going to live. So this channel now only has highlights on, which is why I'm saying I might start making other content as well, as the plan is to have more than just gaming on it. Obviously not unrelated things, but like I build a lot of things. I build signs and stuff. Like I did some streams on the channel about building the on-air sign and like the LED lighting and stuff. So I won't mind going back and exploring some of that stuff. And this gives me the opportunity because I'm not constantly uploading full streams to it and clogging up that list. I can see clearly what's on the channel. Yeah, that's the plan to sort of
That's true.
expand beyond just highlight
I'm now driving
videos
with
of
only
the
one
games
hand
that
on the
we played
wheel as well, you
stream.
may notice.
So to do a bit more of the stuff like NASCAR Heat, in Buggity or Bust, do a bit more of that sort of thing. There are a couple of other games like Dear Esther. I wouldn't stream
I like
Dear
this.
Esther. I feel like it's too slow for the streams.
This just became me talking about
I do want
what
to
I
play
want
it
to
and
do
put it
on
on
the
the channel.
YouTube channel.
It
Didn't
is
this
a game
stream.
that I love. And it's the only
Noticed that.
walking simulator I've found that is good. It's the only one that I've found that I actually enjoy playing. And so I want to put that on there. I want to celebrate that. So that's my plan, to sort of have other games that I don't feel like we can make a stream from and put them on there. And now I'm actually getting to the point where I'm catching up with the stream edits. Oh, and land. There it is. Oh, roof, wheels. Yes, there they are.
See, I know what I'm doing when I'm driving.
Oh,
I
yes,
may
save.
get the new Watch Dogs. Possibly.
I'm thinking Watch Dogs 2 next week.
Oh, there you go. I'm talking
It's
about
like
Watch
every
Dogs 2.
Ubisoft game now has to be like over the top and hey, look at how cool we are. I'm wearing a
How did you
mask
know that
with
was
some
coming
lights on it. Yeah, and what's your point? Oh,
But yeah,
well, I don't know how that,
I may do.
I don't know how physics makes that happen.
I'm not sure.
We hit the tree. Vertical roof.
Do you
No
know
idea.
how long that took to do?
Why do they all have to have
That
like a little
rotation
bunker
of
in the back of a
camera.
cafe games restaurant thing?
Oh, here you go. I'm still
Why does
moaning
it
about
have to
Watch
be covered
Dogs.
in graffiti? Why does that make them cool? Hey, look, we've got graffiti on our walls. Yeah, well, I keep things clean because I actually have respect for them. And why do they have a wall of CRT video monitors? What's wrong with just having one giant screen? That's cooler than having a wall of CRTs. I don't understand hipsters. And Watch Dogs 2 is built on hipsters.
True. There you go. So the same points from that, carry them over to Watch Dogs Legion.
Go.
Because
We're alright.
it looks like they've taken
gonna
a
win.
stupid angle and just expanded on it. And I don't know if it's going to ruin the game completely for me or not.
Handbrake. No, we didn't roll.
I'm not
Awesome.
sure.
Right, the track is over here.
Like, it's a great game. Watch Dogs 2 is a great game. But, man,
Keep right
the
up
design
pressed, and I
choices
didn't-
just baffle
Too
me.
much handbrake on that one.
They make no sense.
Not enough handbrake on that one, and we're stuck.
I don't get it. Like, if someone could at some point explain to me how a wall of misaligned TVs is better than having a
shit.
giant screen, you know. I'm yet to hear a reasonable explanation. And retro doesn't
Well,
even
that was
come
a
into
rubbish
it.
corner, wasn't it? Ah, that was a right, not a left.
Have you noticed how
I
that
could
was the
swear the road
same
looked like it
corner?
was going left.
That corner
I
was
have always
identical to the
enjoyed
other one I fell off.
the Dirt games and all of the Colin McRae series.
See, I love old
Just 'cause I
CRT monitors,
grew up
but
watching Colin
having a
winning
wall
rallies and guy's a legend.
with them
And to go back a
weird
second, I did play a little bit
angles
of
trying to display the
WRC8,
same
but I don't
content
like
across
the
all of
handling
them.
style
Just
the WRC
seems
games. I feel like it's unfinished. It doesn't feel like it's
playing a game
had
on
the
an
same
old
love and attention
CRT is
paid.
brilliant.
It feels like it was there as
But
this is the official game. Go and
having a
enjoy
wall of the
this.
damn things,
You know, just sort of pushed out the door.
as opposed
Whereas
to I
the
don't
Dirt
know.
games actually have some
4K
love put
projector.
into them. And the fact that they
You
work
know.
with people
I'm
like
just saying.
Petter and Oliver Solberg, and you get like Phil Mills doing the co-driver calls, and then Nicky Grist. It feels like there's love put into them. I guess another reason I don't really like WRC, the official games, is because I've not really
Yeah.
watched rally since
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Petter retired. Petter retired
There is like a
few years
high
after
pitch.
Sebastian Loeb
There is like a high-pitched
went
squeal
mental,
from
and I
a
still think there
CRT.
was funny business there. There is no way.
But
that
you'll
one
never
man can
replicate
win,
the fact
what
that
was
when
it,
you put your hand
4
across
or
it
5 years in a
and
row,
the static
and just
from
be
it,
that dominant.
that was
in
always
it.
fun.
When before that, he was just a big name there. Like, there is no way there was funny business. He
Also, I
has
don't know if you
skill,
caught that,
but there was funny business.
but
What I liked though about that
I say that
era of
Sebastian Loeb
Post
won like 2 or 3
Subaru
rallies in a row. He
Mitsubishi
won 9.
was
9
the fact that
WRC
everyone moved
championships
over
in
to
a row.
Rallycross, and so you had all these
Funny business.
WRC drivers all still competing.
And
Although
yeah, they do.
World Rallycross did become the retirement home for WRC drivers. But it is another reason to say I'm sure there was funny business with Loeb back when he was so dominant in WRC. Because most drivers went over to the WRX and performed
agree with
really
my
well
points here.
for the most part. But Loeb just did not get the
I'm going to
groove
call it now,
at
mate.
all. And it
We're
seems strange to
halfway
me that a
through.
guy who can win 5
just gonna let me
World
finish
Rally
my point.
Championships
I'm just going to
at
let me
least.
finish my point.
Like, I'm not sure of the exact number, so don't quote me on it, but a man who was that dominant could go into the WRX and perform.
But yeah, feel free to
bad.
jump on the Discord,
And
guy.
like, bad by his standard isn't bad, but you
You
know
know,
what I mean.
We can talk
He
PCs and
wasn't as
stuff.
dominant.
All good.
Like, I'm just saying. Like, I do think the guy's got a lot of talent, and I appreciate that he's a really good driver, but there was something fishy. The fact nobody could come close. With those kind of...
But yeah, so that is the highlight that's going up in 35 minutes on the YouTube channel. Head over there and watch the rest of it. I'm not going to say it gets better. Also, I'm not going to say it gets worse. It just is. But yeah, so that's going to do it for this one. To the people who hung out, to the people who subscribed and followed and all that good stuff, you guys are awesome. And thank you. So, as always, we are live over on Twitch. Well, over on Twitch, we're on Twitch. We're live over on Twitch every Monday, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Jesus Christ, I am rubbish at this. We are live over on Twitch every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 4 PM UK time. Highlights and other videos go up on YouTube every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday as well. You can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The Discord server is up. You should come join us on that. We've got a bunch of topics. Talk about anything you want. Don't really care what you want to talk about. Just jump on there and we can talk. And yeah, that about does it. So, as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for joining. And I will see you in a bit. Goodbye.